Ada Lovelace has inspired me throughout my career, and I learned about her when I was in college. She was one of the first computer programmers ever, and she was 100 years before her time. She was a countess, and she did not need to continue her education as long as she did, but she continued to do so just because she was so inventive and saw the future of computing.
So the person that has positively inspired me is Zora Neale Hurston. She's my absolute favorite writer of all time. And I would say that she inspired me because not only was she a great writer, but she was an anthropologist, and she did a lot of research on our history and where our people are from. One thing that I learned from her is to stay curious.
I walk into her office and there is fire in her eyes. And I'm like, oh no, I think I did something wrong this time. She slams her hand on the counter and she tells me, you are better than this, and I know it. I've seen it, and you're going to be. I have some motivation problems, and that was a good motivator. The quietest person I've ever met yelling at me that I am not meeting my own potential.
And I learned that you can't let someone else set your ceiling. Wendy showed me the best way to be empowered as a woman is to empower yourself and not to wait for someone else to do it for you.
My mom tells a story about when I was 2 years old and she lost me in the house. And she couldn't find me for about 10 minutes. And when she did, I was under the kitchen sink. And she goes, what are you doing under the sink? And my response was, how does it work? And she said she sat there, she was a little bit puzzled, and then her response was, I don't know, ask your father.
My mom always told me, think like a man. Every time I would say, what if, or I can't, or anything like that, she would say, think like a man. And it would make me think, why am I telling myself I can't do something? Why am I holding myself back?
I think this year's International Women's Day theme of an equal world is an enable world is exactly why my coworker and my friend Nagin and I wanted to start the Women of Things group here at Losant. If we can focus on cultivating a culture of understanding, one that isn't reactionary but instead proactive, an environment that protects and builds into our women and educates our men so they are set up for success to support us, to support each other, and we are that much closer to creating an environment and a place based on trust as well as equality.